up, classmates? This is going to be called Saturday School. And the reason that I'm naming it Saturday School is because I am a former student and about to be a current student. So, this is the kind of episodes where I want to share my experience as a past college student, what my experience has been in between time, and what my experience has been going back to school. So I just wanted to come on here and share that next. As you can see, it's just a variety of things. But how does this have anything to do with book dessert? Well, I'll tell you, all we do in school is study a book, and you will learn firsthand what I'm studying and what I would like to get into. So, just a brief introduction on what I have done in my past. I graduated from high school and went straight to college. I went to a 4-year school and I majored in family and consumer sciences with a concentration in textiles and apparel. Back then, I wanted to be a designer. I had done some sketching ever since I was about 13 or 14 years old, and I was determined I was going to be a designer. Then I realized I don't like to sew under pressure. So sewing for relaxation, I'm totally okay with. Sewing a whole fashion line before you can even get yours off the ground was not for me. And I wasn't willing to go through that struggle to do what I wanted to do. I went off to work for Walt Disney World and almost got into the costuming department part-time, but by then I didn't want to take part-time living out there by myself, and I also went back to school. So after coming back from Disney, working there in the college program as well as the professional internship program, I came back home. I went and I studied at a community college in business administration. I was going to double major in paralegal studies as well as business administration, but I said, well, I'm already far along in my business degree. I'm not really trying to start up paralegal, even though I did very well in all of my classes. I just decided that I was not going to do that. Had some bumps in the road getting my degrees, but that was able to finish school with very good GPAs. And here I am working 2 jobs, still in student loan debt, getting back into student loan debt. And for anybody who loves to save money, that is a person who's trying to be debt free's nightmare, because it's like you'll feel like you'll never get out of the rut. But I'm not here to scare you. I just want to call this Saturday School because I want to share like everything, what it means to be a student, and my warning to people who want to be upcoming students as well, what I'm studying and how that's going. So, got my bachelor's degree in family consumer sciences, got my associate's degree in business administration, and I am working on getting my master's of social work degree next. And life has truly been a journey. There's some things that I don't regret, but I wish I had have done just a little bit differently in the way of the sequence. But in the same token, I wouldn't know what I know today so that I can help others, and I wouldn't know what I know today to kind of help me along in my journey. But because I've learned these things this way, I can share with you on how it could be helpful to do it this way. One of the first things that I want to say is I encourage this. Maybe some people don't, but I do. Go to a 2-year school first. Learn a trade, learn, a quick thing where you can go work right away. I'm not trying to downplay any kind of liberal arts or arts type stuff. I think that is absolutely amazing if you connect it with like teaching and stuff like that. But I do not recommend going to a 4-year school for the arts. I just don't. It's a lot of money. And when you get out, unless you have like big time connections, it's honestly going to be hard. I'm going to be straight up with you. You're going to be in all this debt. You're going to be trying to figure out how am I going to get through stuff, and it'll be difficult. Now, if that's the route you want to go, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just suggesting if you're going to be in the arts, learn a trade, work your job, make the right connections, make sure you set yourself up in a situation where you can work on saving money and getting scholarships and then going on to the next thing. I did it backwards. So I went to a 4-year school, then a 2-year school, because at first I was going to be in design, but I didn't go any further with that. I was going to go get my master's um, at a university in Georgia and continue with my master's in, I think, not merchandising, but it was going to be some kind of fashion degree of some sort. And one thing that was very profound was one of the students in the audience, as we were doing like the like learning about stuff. It wasn't quite orientation, but you're just kind of visiting the school and learning. The girl was like, "How are we going to pay our?" And I'm paraphrasing. "How are we going to pay our student loans, or what's the connection to get us a job when we get out of school?" And it didn't really dawn on me until I got older, and I was realizing, wow, you know, it's amazing how people encourage education, but there's nowhere to go when you get out. It's like I'm paying all this money to go to school, but there's no jobs for what I'm going to school for. So my recommendation is that if you do go to school and you don't know what to do, if you don't know what to do, don't go into a 4-year school. Go to a 2-year school and learn a trade. Figure out what you want to do. If you still don't have it figured out, at least you have a trade and you can go work and figure it out then. After you've done that, saved money and worked on yourself and grown some, then you can consider a 4-year school so you can get your bachelor's, so that you can have, like, if you're trying to go up the ladder in something, you know, sometimes having that degree is a good foundation, because it's kind of like a network for both. The schools get money because you have to get this education, and the businesses kind of work with the schools so that they can get students in these particular jobs. I mean, that's essentially what I've seen. And then you've got people who didn't go to school at all, and it's connections. It's all connections. And so that doesn't make you any less smart or more smart, whatever route you go, but be very strategic in your movements when it comes to education. The next thing I wanted to just share, because it's kind of an entry level, and on top of just sharing my thoughts and what I have learned briefly over the years. After you have decided what you're going to do or done a trade or anything like that, and you decide to go to a 4-year school, then you'll know even more of what you want to do. Going into that 4-year school, you would have already saved up money because you've worked and you've already got your education, so you can start to build that career and work to get your 4-year degree around that. And so that you won't have to rake up so much debt, because you can either pay as you go, get the scholarships within that first year of going to school, or just continue on how you do, but make sure you get in as little debt as possible, because it does build interest, and without the proper job to pay you the proper money for your skill set, it's going to be a pain. I'm just going to be honest. It's going to be a pain. But the right networking, the right connections, the right situation, you know, it may not be that bad. You may have to cut back on things to make sure that you're getting your education debt free. So though I'm not knocking education, I'm knocking the way that we get education. And there are other ways to get it without feeling like you are drowning in debt. It's just the truth. There are so many other things that you can learn. There's so many trades and skills that you can learn before even making that huge commitment, because it is a huge commitment to make. So for me, I did the debt route. Me and my mom, we did the debt route. That's just what it is. My mom is from a generation where you go to school, you get your job, you retire, whatever. And so that's just, you know, they pushed. There was a time where my mom was like, well, why don't you consider a 2-year school? And then my dad was like, go to a 4-year school. And so, you know, mom actually did say to me, and I just didn't think about it. I was like, well, you know, I'm just going to go into a 4-year school. But once we got in, you know, it's like, you know, it just seemed like school is the only way. So, you know, it was something that I would like others learning what I've learned to do, is to do that 2-year route and then go into the 4-year route. Doesn't make you any less brilliant, doesn't make you any less capable or smart. It's just a good avenue without breaking the bank to do that. As a matter of fact, when I finished my 2-year education, 1, they didn't give me financial aid because I already had a bachelor's degree, and 2, I paid for it and I didn't owe any debt when I got out because I was paying as I went. I did at a time where I had a payment plan. I did a time where I saved money and paid for my classes and my books, or I would put it on my card and pay on my card. And that's how, but it wasn't like a lot. I did a mix of things and school is paid for, my 2-year degree. But my 4-year degree, even though there's going to be this loan thing that's coming through, it's still not gone yet. It's still not paid for yet. And I've been out of school almost 10 years. So, and working 2 jobs, trying to figure it out. So I just want you to know that be very strategic. Don't just get a degree to get a degree. Get a plan on how that degree is going to work for you to get to the next level that you want to be. So now I'm in the master's program. So far, it has been a challenge getting started with that because of the glitches in the system and with registration, and it's a pain, and I really don't miss that kind of stress and headache anymore. But I'm glad to be going this route because it'll allow me the avenue to get better at helping others. And it's also, I've always been into work that was human based, where I could help other people. So I chose this particular degree to because it's something that I know I will enjoy doing for a very long time, because I'm very passionate about people's growth, people's mental health, and people just making the best decisions to make sure that their growth is in a healthy, inspiring, wonderful way. So that is a quick tidbit. Welcome to Saturday Schools. This is what we'll call this on Saturdays, Saturday School. And I'll just share some tips on how to get through school, what I did to get through school, and also how my new school journey is going, and how I will take my own advice and the advice I have learned from others on how to not be in so much debt, but be more strategic about scholarships, be more serious about scholarships, do whatever hustles I can around all of the field work and stuff that I have to do to make sure that I'm maintaining with payments. And then when I get the degree and the licensure, I will be able to do even more. And I want to share that journey with you all here. So far, we're going through registration. I will continue that story. I want it to be, I want to come out of these issues that we're dealing with registration and stuff like that, and then just kind of tell you how I got to where I am. All right. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. I am going to stop not showing this cardigan. It's like every time I wear this particular cardigan, I don't give it any love. This cardigan deserves love just like all the other ones and all the other cover-ups. This is a basic black cardigan. It's very soft and comfortable. It is black, and it's not like that navy blue one that looks black, but this one is an actual black cardigan, and I really like throwing this on, and it's a lot softer too. So I just wanted to show my cardigan.